and gentlemen, we're back to game number 3, the final game of this best of 3 series between Rising Star and Invasion and MUFC. This is the third place deciding match of the AMD Premier League. Beyond the Summit presentation brought to you guys by Luminous and BTS Gods. And as always, Shadow Demon first pickup here, this time being picked up by Rising Star. Magnus being banned out. And we might see an anti-mage again for Rising Star because it seemed like when they had the Shadow Demon defensive protection, AM was always fine. And we're not going to see the similar amount of chain stuns that worked so well for MUFC last game.
Yeah, well, they're going to go straight for the Rubik once again. So maybe they look to build a similar sort of trailing, but having a Shadow Demon means you've got some sort of chain stun setup potential of your own for Rising Stars. A lot better protection of the anti-mage, so it's a lot safer all around. Darkseer gets picked up MUFC, so if they're expecting that to go offlane, this is still a great game as any to go anti-mage. You could see 3 in a row.
Yeah. Something like maybe a Queen of Pain into an anti-mage pickup here. I'm not exactly sure how the Chinese feel about Queen of Pain. They're kind of been on the fence about it. Sometimes you see them play it, but generally the Chinese prefer a little bit more kind of high-impact hero. You talked about how she's not exactly the greatest ganker in the early game. She can be if you find himself a haste rune or a double damage, but you can't really exactly count on those. So maybe we're going to see a Clockwork AM here.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty solid. 2 picks here. If they don't pick the anti-mage now, if they don't pick a carry, without a doubt, MUFC look to ban it out. So if they want to go anti-mage again, and I think it's sort of what they're strong with, they want to pick it now. Alternatively, I wouldn't mind seeing them mix it up a bit. I'd be quite happy to see another Wisp pick like we saw yesterday, but we haven't seen that yet today.
Yeah, Wisp, not really sold on it. Just that it seems like the Chinese not exactly too well practiced in terms of the Wisp. We've seen, I think, the games that Rising Star was losing yesterday, that Wisp was level 6 very early. Never actually got those relocate gank off. I guess against Tongfu, who's always aware to actually stick together or never really getting picked off by the relocate, then you're never going to find too many openings.
Yeah, I think they were just a bit outclassed there. Against MUFC, they did really well in Game 1, strategically. Game 2, they looked decent until just suddenly MUFC just, well, okay, we've won this game. This time around, though, Rising Stars, they don't go anti-mates, they go Juggernaut, Lone Druid. I like these 2 picks. This is really solid in my eyes. They've got Juggernaut, who's a really strong, potentially offensive trialing hero, with the Lone Druid as a safe lane solo who can 1v1 the Darkseer. They can do Lone Druid mid, they can just do Juggernaut in the safe lane. There's so many different ways Rising Stars can lane this, and their mid-game sort of team fight is really scary with the Healing Ward, the Lone Druid pushing power, and all they need is some kind of aggressive support to combine with the Shadow Demon and some kind of semi-carry utility hero, and I'm really liking this Rising Stars draft.
I wonder if this is where you start to pick up your supports to kind of target the Lone Druid. Is it going to be a Bane Elemental, for example, to sleep the bear, to enfeeble the bear? They're going to go with MUFC right now, and this is harking back a little bit to Dignitas. I really love it when they run Darkseer and TA mid, because sometimes, like during the Nightfall especially, there's a trap on your side of the hill. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Iron Shell gets cast on Templar Assassin, she gets surged in, Trap gets activated, and your solo mid is dead. Like, the offensive power in terms of the early game ganks, in terms of the mid game team fight, is so powerful with these 2 heroes with each other, because they just both chase so well. Team fights, chase, ganks, and of course the Traps giving Rune Sight. I love these 2 heroes together, and I'm glad to see that MUFC is going to be using them in conjunction.
Yeah, and TA does make, well, I mean, even you think of Lone Druid as being fairly tanky in that ulti form, but TA can make Lone Druid look a lot squishier with that maxed out meld. So all in all, it's a strong pick to have, and something which MUFC probably will have FC playing in the mid lane, one of his sort of signature heroes, and it does sort of go back to MUFC's comfort zone. I think staying away from the Queen of Pain is a smart thing here in game number 3.
Yep. Also, I'd like to see MUFC perhaps pick up a longer range hero. Rubik's decent, Templar Assassin's okay, and I'm talking about the Juggernaut Ward. Maybe pick up a couple of summons that could kind of stick it on it. Invoker is always kind of the easy counter with your Force Spirits, but we haven't seen Invoker in a long while.
I missed Invoker.
I do too.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, you can look back at TI2 and people can complain all they like about how much Morphling Anti-Mage Lone Druid got picked, but Naga. Yeah. Well, Naga was mostly banned until towards the Na'Vi matches. But I think if you actually look back, Morphling was like one of the go-to characters. Morphling's a really cool, interesting hero in my eyes. Like, he's got like he's got 4 castable spells. He's just interesting strategically. And then Invoker was the other big hero that was really popular. As far as the interesting top picks, there was some cool heroes. Like, I think the metagame back then was actually not as boring as people say, like, oh, we have Morphling every single game, but like, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool time strategically, but I like the new sort of clockwork trend, and as well as even seeing stuff like Slack lately in the Western qualifiers.
Yeah.
I love how the metagame just changes from month to month.
It's okay, guys. Just make sure that everybody get the compendium, and then on the All-Star match, vote for Ferrari as the solo mid for one of the team, and then just make him play Invoker. We're done. We're okay.
Do the community get to choose their heroes?
I don't think
That's the
so,
question.
but I'm pretty sure if there's enough like Twitter and Weibo message about it, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, Valve, man, make a new stretch goal. Community get to choose their heroes.
yeah. After the players are selected, and then we draft these like random BS ATOD games. That is. Any case, let's go back to this game. I keep getting distracted by the compendium because there's so much like to talk about. There's like heroes to picks. If you haven't actually purchased one yourself, I really recommend you do so.
Well, quickly, 1v1 tournament. Who would you want to see?
Okay, definitely Dendi, Scando, S4, Ferrari. I'd throw Tron in there. Mushi, Yamate. I mean, you only get to 8, and there's more than 8. Yafits, if he qualifies, yeah.
Yafits? What team's Yafits
Or not
qualifying with?
Yafits, sorry. CTY.
I'm like, what?
CTY, sorry.
What world do you live in, Lumi?
I live in the past. I live in 2010 where Yafit is...
The best Shadow Fiend in the world.
Yeah. Best Shadow in China. Best Shadow in China.
I'm going with the world.
Yeah.
If you're the best in China, it means you're the best in the world, Lumi.
Shots fired. No one could disagree with you here because, hey, I agree.
Best team in China means best team in the world. Best carry in China is best carry in the world, etc.
Korean of Pain is gonna be the fake up here for Rising Star, and the matchup between Templar Assassin. Ooh, I was gonna say the matchup between Templar Assassin and Queen of Pain is even, comes down to skill, blah blah blah. But we're gonna see Gyrocopter being picked up, and I feel like this is probably one of the most MUFC-esque hero, if that even makes any sense. It is so aggressive. It is so good at every stage of the game. If I didn't see MUFC on the title of this draft, I would think Team Dignitas was drafting this.
Yeah, it really is. Very Dignitas. And here's your Wisp. It's the last pick. We got the Wisp. Rising Stars love this hero. I mean, the Chinese teams haven't been picking or playing it at all, but Rising Stars, they're like, let's look to change this.
Yeah, and you know that on the Eastern qualifier, they will get the Wisp free every single time because nobody else has
Unless, like, during the first group stage, they just dominate with it, and then maybe in the playoffs, seems like, ooh, I don't really want to give it to them anymore.
And they're fine. They'll pick Anti-Mage and rise away. Yeah.
Until they start, like, dominating games using Wisp, it won't get banned.
5 seconds remaining.
So they could save it as, like, a pocket strategy. If you're going up against LGD or whoever in their group, just be like, let's pull out the Wisp.
Why not? Well, they got to be a little bit more practice because Tom Fu was like, yeah, you can pick your Wisp. We'll just, no big deal. You got to be very careful about playing the Wisp against both Gyrocopter and Templar Assassin because their AoE damage is insanely big. Their range is insanely big. That flat cannon to the low armor of Wisp, you get blown the hell up before you even know what's going to happen. So, with that said, there's also a Healing Ward Wisp Tether heal kind of shenanigan, which is pretty nice, pretty cute. So I'm glad to look forward to this Wisp.
One more pick for MUFC. They, I guess, need another support. They go for the Sand King. The Southeast Asian teams love their support Sand King. Well, last game it was Rising Stars, but MUFC going to be running probably Ling on the Sand King.
All right, we'll see how effective it's going to be. The AoE is not going to be missed at all, as none of these heroes are really BKB heroes. So I guess Queen of Pain could get one, and of course there's Spin on Juggernaut. But for the most part, the epicenter is going to be big. It's going to be effective. And let's quickly introduce the players. This is the final game between Rising Star and Invasion MUFC for the third place decider. It's going to be XTD playing support Shadow Demon, Mofi on the Juggernaut, and of course Xiao Tuji to carry on Lone Druid. We're going to see Air playing solo mid Queen of Pain once again, and Super on the Wisp.
Well, for the MUFC side, we have got ABC, who is Ling, I believe, playing on the Rubik. We've got TFG playing Darkseid. We've got FZFZ playing Templar Assassin. Hontrash playing on the Gyrocopter. And that's going to leave Winter to play the support Sand King.
5 seconds remaining.
So Winter had a really good Rubik game last time. Was able to get some key blink initiations, but it's going to be on Sand King and the 5-row Sand King. I'm not really loving it, but hey, we'll see.
Maybe this is one of those games where he tells Ling, man, like, you gotta buy those wards. Yeah, Ling with mostly ward smoke. He's got 1 Tango, 1 Clarity. He's got no permanent items right now.
Ling's gonna get first blood and he's gonna still buy boots. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know Winter.
Ling, as far as support goes to play, he's like always one of the richest support players there. Like his Ling, every time he plays Ling, like last game and even in the past, I've seen his Lina with like Blink, Yule Scepter, Arcane Boots at like 22 minutes. And I'm
Yeah,
just like,
he's
what?
very reminiscent of the Fluff and Stuff of the East. Because
Yeah.
Fluff and Stuff plays forward. Sometimes you look over, it's like, why does he have Blink Arcane and a Force Staff and all that stuff? But in any case, looks like they dot a buff for Ray into the enemy jungle, and then dot against the TFG is going to be going up and down the staircase, looking for a rune perhaps. And he's going to be facing against a tri-lane that's consistent of a Juggernaut. So it's going to be a ooh. Looks like they swapped their heroes. Mofi now is on the Lone Druid, and it's going to be Xiaotuji on the Juggernaut himself.
okay. Yeah, definitely an offlane lone druid then. Zaltuji, always in that safe lane farm role. With a poor man's shield, this is Zaltuji's items. Poor man's shield, Tango Salve. This looks like he's almost like a solo Juggernaut because this is a lot of pooled regen.
Yeah, so that makes me think that the Wisp and Shadow Demon mostly focusing on the jungle. Of course, you're going to have the Shadow Demon most likely harassing Darkseid out of lane. And once you know that he's going to disappear into his own jungle, and the supports will go back to theirs. So, I want to say that Darkseid maybe should poke his head out on the bot lane once in a while, but looks like he's not going to do that. Xiaotuji might actually go into a Quelling Blade immediately as well, because the damage on Juggernaut is actually pretty low. He does have a really nice animation, but from personal experience, it could easily miss a couple assets if you're not careful enough.
Yeah, well, Spirit Bear trying to pull this around the Iron Shell. It's almost... Oh, gets the pull off.
Smart pull. In fact, now they're going to get a free creep pull here.
Thing is, he's going to have to send that bear back looking for another pull, but the bear's already half HP, so it's going to get closer and closer to dying every time he does this.
And now Winter is pulling here as well. They could actually double the wave up and just go for a huge level 1 push with Darkseid coming out as well.
Triple the wave up almost.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be somewhat difficult. I mean, Mofi's going to get some CS, and yeah, there's a single range creep pull. Winter not even going to give it to him, man. Winter, so cruel, so cruel.
Okay, he's going to get... He gets this big creep wave, which was pulling. Oh, Winter. Oh, no, not Winter. Ling. Oh my gosh.
Sick play here by the MUFC
Whoa.
supports.
Lone Druid helped him out a little bit.
But hey, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a ton of EXP now. Lone Druid is going to be standing here at level 1. Just have a tear in his eye right now. Meanwhile, if you look at the Radiant jungle, a lot of similar thing here, a lot of similar pull, and you can see that the XTD is going to tunnel through it, and it's going to go all the way to the left. It's going to get yet another stack, so they're going to be denying a ton of creep kills there as well.
Dax has found the Spirit Bear again.
Yeah, he's going to be Iron Shelling away.
I think he's got this.
That's going to be for 100 gold, right?
Iron Shell lasting for another 100 gold. Well, some good XP. Surge.
Yeah, this is going to be close. And there's going to be resummon. What a juke. What a juke.
Just had the movement speed.
Yeah. All right. So
Close. 320 movement speed to 300 outruns it.
yeah, but the support level difference is gonna be somewhat. There's. I love the EXP per minute. I looked at the graph and there's a flat 0 on Lone Druid because he hasn't seen it creep yet.
Oh.
And actually, very surprisingly, it's the Radiant support that's leading in terms of EXP by a tiny bit. It looks like we're gonna see a transition of a push right now for the bot lane.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, I think Wisp has actually shared the XP with Jug quite a bit, whereas the Gyrocopter is... Yeah. Oh no, Gyrocopter's ahead of the Jug as well. So yeah, Rising Stars now group up, going to get this T1 tower nice and fast, which means we could see Daxia rotate back bottom once his T1 tower's down with some safer farm. But I think Rising Stars just really want to get this gold up.
Yeah, normally you say, all right, a quick tier 1 tower, that's going to be cool. Your support's going to pick up boots. That's good. But for me right now, an early tower is going to be big for Juggernaut because that means he picks up his phase boots. And phase boot Juggernaut this early in game, 3 minutes, that's insane because any support that he sees is absolutely dead. So,
Yeah.
wow. They're going to keep on pushing, in
A
fact.
bit lacking in mana, but...
Well, he's going to get healed up right now. Yeah.
But, yeah, even if you can get the fast phase boots, it's going to be hard because of your mana problem. He's actually going to spin down this creep wave. They're going for 2 towers. They've got this big creep wave, and I think they can get this. They don't have a siege creep, which is the only annoying thing, but I don't think it matters. And Darkseid, he's coming bottom, but he's not here yet. I think this is a tier 2.
Well,
We close.
he's going to try his best to
Yeah.
drop an Iron Shell on his next creep wave and try to slow it down. Out of manas on Juggernaut, so no healing ward, no spin to actually break up the creep wave. In fact, are we going to see another clarity? No clarity just yet. Surge forward for a creep.
Oh, he pulls the creep wave.
Oh, nice play here by XTD.
Here's the siege creep.
And
Tower dead.
Oh, TFG's got to be very careful.
It's okay. I think they're just trying to zone him out so they can get this tower. And with the siege creep here, this tower's gone. Or at least it looks like it should be.
It is. Xiaotuji going to try his best to last at this one. If he gets the last hit on this one, it's going to be 2 towers in a row. And this is where you ask yourself, I got 1900 gold on my Juggernaut. This
Midas.
is 4 minutes in. Midas straight up, right? This is...
I mean, you could go drum straight up. I think would be the more sturdy choice. But
You know what I personally really like? A Butcher's Travel right here. Like,
oh my god, that would be sick.
not only...
No, well, you have no mana. That's the big problem. Like, you TP to another lane and it's 75 mana gone.
Yeah,
that's a third of your mana pool.
Instead of phase drums, you go just Butcher Travel drums. He's gonna go still phase drums, which... Simply because you're gonna spin and get those early game kills. He's such a good counter ganker with Omni Slash.
Yeah.
I felt like he maybe missed the opportunity whether it's Midas or Butcher Travel.
Yeah, I think we'll just pick up a magic wand and a bracer for his drum, because then wand as well as bracer give you much needed stats to boost up your mana pool. Juggernaut has big mana problems. Like Omni Slash plus Blade Fury is 310 mana. When you hit level 6, your mana pool's like 280. You don't even have enough for the
Well, actually, I mean, they're Wisp on the field. If he gets a Soul Ring, suddenly it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. Well, bottom lane's been fun. What's happening in some of these other lanes? Looks like the two supports rotating mid now, and MUFC doing the same thing. Rubik as well Sanking smoked up level 3.
They're making a go here on FZ here. Sensual are going to get dropped off as well, but they're not going to get the kill. Surge into a Burrow Strike. Suddenly 4 heroes mid on the mid lane. XTD is going to give the first blood to TFG. In fact, maybe... Oh, no. Air blinking back.
They had to bring Darkseer, so it was 4 heroes coming for that one, though.
That's
so,
fine. The Darkseer's in the jungle. He's going to go right back. So he's level 4.5. He's actually matching decently in terms of the solo level EXP, so he's keeping out. It's not bad.
And our buddy the Lone Druid is no longer sitting on that 0 XP per minute mark.
Got level 3. Not bad. In fact, Contrast play is going to be zoning him out quite a bit. And
Black hurts.
Juggernaut's going to go back to the base. He's spent a ton of his gold. It's going to be a completed drum. So this is one of the earliest phase drum that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the question is, what does he do? Does he keep on farming? You don't farm with this Juggernaut, right?
No.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. He's just hit level 6 as well. I think he heads top for the Gyrocopter, maybe. Wisp not level 6 yet. So I think Wisp wants to still go with him because of the tether movement speed to help him out. But it looks to me like you go top because mid lane TA hard to gank. Set up some kills at top lane, even look to push this lane. I think they even think about sending Lone Druid to the safe lane. Problem is right now, safe lane's too far pushed out, and that's where Winter's getting some farm. But if that safe lane ever pushes out, we'll probably see Lone Druid rotate there.
Yeah, I imagine that XCD is going to get that disrupt off up top, and he's dead, Gyrocopter. No matter... I mean, Contrast play will get chased down by a phase drums Juggernaut easily. 2 people going into the enemy jungle, looking for a kill. Look at how quickly they're just trekking across the jungle with the drums. Uh-oh, TFG. Oh!
Oh! That...
And...
Well, he redeems himself. Well, not the Shadow Demon doesn't. The Juggernaut does it for him. Gyrocopter comes in with a cooldown. This could be enough damage for MUFC to turn things around, but not going to happen. Zhao Tushi may actually be brought down. He is. Phase drums, not going to save your life there. The cooldown slows him down with some trap slows. And now Air has to back off with the Wisp. More Wisp who needs to get the hell out of here. As TA is chasing. TA has a double damage room. 2 for 2 at the top lane.
I'm glad you were casting that play-by-play, because I just lost it. What the hell just happened there?
Well...
I'm surprised by the misclick. Misclick happened, and then TFG went back to it.
Yeah, he just walked into an Omni Slash. I don't know if he... I guess he didn't realize Jug was level 6. He should have. But... yeah, he just walked into the Omni Slash, and then from there, I think he wanted to go back in because MUFC were rotating 5 heroes. They had TA coming from mid, so they were sending TA up from mid, and they had Gyrocopter coming from top. So they were basically pinstering in Rising Stars from 3 different directions. Problem was, there's 3 heroes coming by themselves, which is 3 kills that Jug can take. He went the direction of the Darkseer, he gets himself a kill, and then... well, Gyrocopter does sort of get MUFC some revenge. Despite
the fact that it not actually was the best foray into the enemy jungle, I still think it's a correct thing to do. In fact, they're doing it again. Because your Juggernaut is so fat, he's so fast in these early engagement. And of course, your Wisp was getting the levels in these engagement as well. They still see Gyrocopter up top. The smoke is going to break here, so they know exactly where he is. They should. Yeah. He's hiding right behind the trees. There's a Shadow Poison as well to actually scout it out. They will see him, but that also give away the position here for the Rising Star. There's going to be a couple of teleport scrolls. Templar Assassin has one. He's going to TP out. Great play here. Great play. Templar Assassin has a haste rune, so you got to be very, very careful if you're going to be going kind of any big dive or sustain push.
Yeah, a quick TP and then phase boots. Yeah, phase boots are here. So is his magic wand. So we'll see TPs in if MUFC want to defend this and fight this. And Winter, he's still farming bottom lane. He's just like, okay, I got my arcane boots. He's been there for some time.
He's playing the 4, man.
Yeah.
Gotta get those arcanes.
He says, Ling, it's your turn to support.
Well, no response here for the Dire to actually defend that top. FZ's going to be pressuring the mid for a little bit. He's going to be absolutely fine with the phase. And looks like he's going to find himself a Wisp. Wisp does not have a target to teleport to. He's going to get lifted up. Where's the Mail Strike? No mana for the Mail Strike. He is going to get himself out of there. Defensive Disruption is going to be there. And the spin. But there's a haste rune, right? Yeah, there is a haste.
Yeah. Should be okay. Omni Slash is back up, but that's not going to do enough damage to go through to kill off the TA, not to mention Refraction in the playing field. MUFC now 4 heroes mid. Were they spotted out by the Shadow Poison? I think all those TPs were spotted out.
Yeah, I think they were, but Surge, Iron Shell, Burrow Strike's going to focus on Xiao Tuji down to half, into a lift. Mail Strike, couple hits here. He's going to spin himself out of there. Drums activation, not necessarily in that engagement. And they're going to be back out. So I almost felt like because there's a 2,000 gold lead, or 2,000 gold farm on Juggernaut, he could have just go into carry Juggernaut mode.
Yeah.
And I guess it's still fine that they're playing this aggressive, but the aggression has not been too impressive so far.
No, the 6-minute phase drums on Juggernaut just, I mean, it's nice. You get all that movement speed, but you still can't go over aggressive, and they need to keep getting the Queen of Pain involved. Queen of Pain, or they need to start getting Queen of Pain involved. Queen of Pain hasn't been in a single kill yet for Rising Stars, and I think it's a big thing. They were fighting around the Lone Druid, but they need to be fighting with the Juggernaut and Queen of Pain. Lone Druid isn't a factor right now.
My goodness. So I talked about the Iron Shell Surge on TA, Iron Shell Surge on Sand just as good, taking away any kind of level needed for that Burrow Strike, and Mail Strike to follow through. That's a free kill on Queen of Pain. This Queen of Pain is 0-1-0. Back in the mid lane, though, we're going to see Spin. We're going to see Iron Shells on top, but FD is going to get the last hit on the tower, and FC is going to go right on Mofi. There is Omni Slash available. Do they have Dust, though? There's some detection, and there's going to be free kill. Yep.
All right. TA goes down, and TA is a hero you don't want to be letting snowball, so it's a useful kill of as any for Rising Stars. They can give the Gyrocopter some fun, but they want to be stopping the TA from just getting that super fast Blink Dagger. Speaking of Gyrocopter, he is going for that Shadow Blade, so we're seeing that up in the next sort of couple of minutes. He's actually really close to it now, and that's something which Rising Stars should be ready for because they have had time to see that Claymore on him.
I think Shadow Blade is actually a great item pickup here. Normally, defensive Shadow Blade is not exactly too impressive. In this particular game, getting any type of movement speed, because when you see the Wisp relocating, you immediately press your Shadow Blade, and that should be enough movement speed and time for you to get out. Not many other item helps you survive against a Wisp relocate, if that's the thing that he's worried about. Also, it helps you dodge Omni Slash and all these kind of. It's just a great defensive item in this game, and normally it's not a good defensive item at all. So, nice pickup here for Contrast player.
Yep. Well, we'll be seeing aggression in the jungle here. They find another pick off. Contrast play immediately brought down, and that's going to slow down that Shadow Blade quite a bit. Something that will help Rising Stars a lot. But there's going to be a return fight coming up from MUFC in the mid lane. Burrow Strike hits a couple. FZ not going to be able to follow up with the Iron Shell TA. This Blade Fury does prevent that from doing any extra damage, and Rising Stars, they drop the healing ward. They're going to try to bring down the tier 1.
It's going to be another hasted Burrow Strike. It's Epicenter going to get channel. Winter just Burrow Strikes and runs back. They're going to get a kill on Mofi. Air is going to be the next, or Xiao Tuji perhaps. And looks like we're going to have a relocate coming in. I hear somewhere Wisp comes in. It's going to be a trip for Xiao Tuji. He's spinning. He's looking for the kills. He's going to find one on the TA. And I think that should be it. In fact, they can look for a TFG. TFG has Surge coming off cooldown. A couple seconds. Are they going to pop the drums? They won't. And again, I mean, this aggression is nice, but I feel like the trade is going towards in favor of MUC. This hasted Iron Shell Burrow Strike is just killing the Radiant team right now.
Yeah, and he just keeps going in for Burrow Strike after Burrow Strike. He's not even trying to challenge an Epicenter, because if you Epicenter, it's time where you're standing still, can get stunned up, focus down, burst down, and it's not going to go well.
But what stun is there for the Radiant team? There's a tether and a disruption.
I think it's more, the problem is, you Burrow Strike in and you look to start channeling your stun, everyone just walks away from you. They just back off.
You're still Surge though, right?
Yeah, I guess the other thing is that there's a disruption. And I think that the Surge is being used so early that by the time the Burrow Strike goes in and the Epicenter stops channeling, you're no longer Surge.
I guess so, yeah. Well,
maybe when we see that level 4 Surge, but
that's going to come a little bit later on, as the MUFC team is smoked up. Yeah, but Winter's having such a big impact in this game right now, thanks to Zarkster. And it looks like they're going to come in and perhaps set up a kill on somewhere. Relocate is down, so this is a very good time to set up a gank all over the map. Or not. They are not just finding the target. This is what MUFC had trouble yesterday, where they try to do a lot of these smoke ganks, and they're just not finding the pick off. Surge, call down. I'm vacuuming for the mini stun. Blinks right into Hontrash player. What a gank here. But is it going to be enough? One more hit. They are going to get the last hit. Very nicely played. Ooh, the
Winter in over his head, maybe. Barrow Strike will get out of the blade through, but they're going to go change target, try to bring down Ling instead of the Rubik. Nope. Jug forced to back off, drops a healing ward. Does have the Omni Slash up, but doesn't look like he's going to be finding anyone right now.
Yeah. Very nicely done. MUFC's gonna get themselves out of there. Finding that pick off.
Mofi, Lone Druids, he's now taking the safe lane. We'll see Rising Star. They've been trying to take down this team on Mount Tower for some time, but I think they're committing too much with the Lone Druid, because Lone Druid, sure, he can group up with the team and help bring down towers by using the Spirit Bear, but I think more importantly, he just needs to farm.
He's only got 40 CS, so like he's got his free farm time. It's just that he hasn't either found the last hit or just hasn't done too much. So
well, I don't think he's had the free farm time until now. I think he just had a couple minutes at bottom lane. His team came top when they pushed down the tier 1. He then went with his team to push the tier 1 mid, and while he's pushing, he's not getting farmed.
Sure, that's a fair point. It looks
I mean, they're splitting the creep wave between 5 heroes.
Force out Glyph, and are we going to see a little bit of Surge Burrow Strike coming out here? It looks like a spell being stolen. That's going to be a healing ward. That's a big spell to be still in. That's third last hit on the tower. Xiaotuji, nice offensive disruption and a spin being used on Winter. Winter not going to get the Burrow Strike off this time. Are they going to keep on chasing? No. There's really no point to keep chasing there. Yeah.
There we go. Dax is now arrived, but not going to see them chase. They probably want to take a team fight because they've just got this mech on Darkseer now, so they're looking pretty scary as far as their team fight goes. Shadowblade is just finished on the Gyrocopter as well, so Shadowblade is there, mech is there. They're still waiting on the BKB for the Templar Assassin, sanking 800 gold, so still a bit of a waste from his Blink Dagger, but just with the mech up, MUFC just got a much stronger, scarier team fight.
This is what I want to see out of MUFC. That you split pressure a little bit here with Contrast player Shadowblade, and once the creep equilibrium is out there, once you force a couple of TP, maybe from the Druid, maybe from the Juggernaut, you go into the Roshan pit. Take advantage of the fact that you have Healing Ward, take advantage of the fact that you have a Mail Strike, and just go for basically a free Roshan kill, because I don't see the enemy team challenging a Roshan fight. Relocate up top, and this is, again, Shadowblade becomes very effective. Omnislash comes in, but a Burrow Strike is going to be there as well. Contrast play is going to survive this, and so will the Sanking, I believe. No, I say that too soon. And Juggernaut, he is so damn fast. He's got a Yasha on tap, and well, they go back, and now I do believe Ling is going to go down. Sonic Wave is going to come through. They're going to get that one extra kill. Here comes Hasten, FC. FC is going to be looking for the kill on XTD. XTD going to die for sure. Nice vacuum. Well, there's an offensive disruption here. But they're going to get the kill on Loki regardless. Epicenter being channeled as well. Gets cancelled by the tether. Very nicely played.
And Jug's back. Maybe Jug can look to re-engage here. He's going to try to bring down this TA. Is there enough damage to do so? TA going onto the Wisp here. Wisp getting lower and lower. One more right click will finish him off. And Juggernaut unable to get anything in return. I think the big problem was there. Wisp relocate, took the Jug out of the fight. They needed to leave the Jug top. Now Jug's returned, but his team's already dead. He's trying to Blade Fury out of this one, back to his own tier 1 tower. Turn, fight. You can't keep on running from a TA and a surge from Darkseer. And he almost actually gets the kills.
In fact, it's going to be a chase the other way. He's going to face back in. Meltrek, another one. Dust is going to be used. Trap's going to be used. XCD is very luckily outside of that trap range, or he's going to be dead. TFG's going to be out of mana. In fact, they're going to be keep on chasing. They have Purge, and they're going to be going for that kill. Oh, he had mana because of the perhaps magic one. No, it's just
he purged before the surge.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if they would get that kill anyways. I don't think Jug was going back in, so I think even if he did the purge properly, I don't think they were getting that kill anyways.
Well, I mean, Juggernaut's getting a lot of these items. In fact, once he has Mantis out, he's going to be a big threat. It's just, again, it doesn't feel like the fact that he has... Like, imagine if Anti-Mage had boots and 2,000 going 4 minutes in, the game would be over. It's just a different kind of hero and a different kind of way to spend gold.
Yeah. So, Lone Druid, I guess he's sort of caught up a little bit with the help of some of this tower gold. He's almost got his armlet at 18 minutes, which isn't too bad considering he was an offlane Lone Druid. And that fight there, I think, was the first okay-ish fight for Rising Stars. They did end up losing too many by just overextending, and once Juggernaut got pulled out of the fight by Relocate, but MUFC, the kill onto the Gyrocopter, to slow anything to slow him down as a carry here is going to be good for Rising Stars in the long run.
Definitely here. And, I mean, I really don't consider Xiaotuji as a carry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a carry player. He's just not playing his hero as a carry. So, which is fine. And Juggernaut's a fine kind of mid-game ganker, semi-carry of sorts. Trash player is going to get dusted. Where's the Purge coming out? Do you lose sight out high ground?
Oh, they're coming from the side here. What's Rubik stolen? Omnislash going to go onto the Rubik before he can cast a single spell here.
Yeah, he definitely needs that level 2 Omnislash. Wisp, don't take Xiaotuji back, man. Yeah, okay. He's going to keep on farming.
I was wondering if Jug wanted to go back bottom just to get his level 11 now. But his Omnislash is on cooldown anyway, so he's not too worried about rushing it for the next minute or two. They're pinging Roche. With just Rubik dead for 3 more seconds, so...
I guess you have Barry, you have Healing Ward. It's nice.
MUFC see this though. Well, for one thing they've got a ward, for another thing they can drop a trap. And they're fighting against a Darkseer lineup with a mech.
And a
wall of
Burrow Strike
replica, though.
Epicenter. Like, they could just get completely team wiped in here. In fact, they're thinking. You can see Winter waiting for the Burrow Strike. It's gonna be a vacuum. Oh, TFG's being stolen. Where is the sun coming up? Winter gets Tender stun up. Burrow Strike. Oh, vacuum on top, but the call down do a ton of damage here. Juggernaut gets his ward killed off. And that should be it.
Take all an FC. We'll push him back. That tether stun was amazing from the Wisp. Wisp just positioned himself, so I think he stunned like 2 or 3 heroes with that tether.
And it stopped the Burrow Strike from coming in. It could have been a complete team wipe if it weren't for that tether stun. MBSC waiting for opportunity to go into the Roshan pit.
I think neither team going to be able to take Roshan just now. Rising Star's probably waiting for the Jug ultimate to come back up, as well as Wisp to respawn. Still some time for Queen of Pain. While MUFC, they really it's like, okay, they've got the 1 point in Darkseer Wall of Replica. They didn't have it at level 10, so even just the 1 point in a fight around the Roshan pit can make such a big difference.
Yeah, it's only 15-second illusion, but those 15 seconds when you have things like Surge as well as traps, they do a ton of damage output. Of course, we have Air back on the top lane trying to finish his Orchid. I mean, Orchid is going to be nice against Darkseer. I imagine he's going to save it as Darkseer surges in. Maybe he's going to be against the Sand King. So the targets are there, and there's really no answer. No response coming out from the Dire.
Contrast player sneaks in a little regen rune here. Gonna just throw a stun at XDD. We're not going to see any follow-up. And Axie, once again, into the Roshan pit. So MUFC really want to take this. They have the Dire side advantage, but all of Rising Stars are lurking around. They have Omni Slash in 2 seconds. The only thing they don't have is Queen of Pain Sonic Wave. I definitely think Rising Stars can look to fight this.
Ooh, look at the Juggernaut. He sees Winter.
Yeah, Dustin and Omni Slash will seal his fate.
Well, I really think that the Dire could maybe force a Roshan fight. In fact, they're going to smoke and maybe look all the way to wrap around. But unfortunately, the enemy team is... Look at Winter drawing the arrows on the map.
I love how he's not with them. He's like, you 4 go from behind, then I'll just come out in front. Because they're not... If they see a smoke from behind, they're expecting all 5 to be there.
Yep. And that's exactly the plan. XTT might be the pickoff. Oh, it's going to be Xiao Tuji. That's first one seen. Surge is going to be used. BKB's going to pop. But what a root! A first hit root, and that's going to stop and slow down all of the offense. That is a lucky-ass root. They could have all got wiped there.
That's some Admiral Bulldog type plays.
Yeah, man. And now do you go back to the pit? Your BKB is down now. I don't think you can still. It's just unlucky. Unlucky for MUFC.
Yeah, it was. And I think it's hard because their Gyrocopter's quite squishy until he has his BKB up, that they don't want to try and take this Roche fight. As a ward gets put on the high ground, this will help out a lot.
Xiao Tuji might be looking to re-engage here. Those blue balls being flown out. I feel like one thing that maybe perhaps Rising Star is missing out is on the fact that they could be farming the Juggernaut on a different lane and then porting back in and get a little bit more farm as there's this big dance in the Roshan fight. But looks like they want to pressure in the mid lane a little bit. Vacuum going to be used. Trap or Silence going to be used against TFG. No first in Tango here just yet.
I think for Juggernaut, the main thing for him, he always wants to be there in case there's like a free kill with an Omni Slash. So if he's being relocated in, it's going to be for a team fight. But if he can find like a little pickoff on the side, and he's got all the movement speed to maybe do that, it'll be pretty useful. But I agree. I think we almost want Lone Druid farming in the off lane, but then Wisp has to bring him in. Then you've only got 3 heroes maybe there.
Bear's going to be alone. Bear's going to be regenning up thanks to this healing ward though.
Queen of Pain wanted to deny it.
Saw him do that one hit. Not sure exactly sure what it's about. Out of mana almost.
I mean, Rising Stars is still just committing this 5 heroes to mid lane. I feel they don't want to really take a team fight against the Sand King, Gyrocopter, Darkseer kind of lineup. BKB back up on TA, so this isn't going to go well for them. They should just, they're going to back off and farm.
I feel like, I feel both team was making a mistake there. I think Gyrocopter should be farming the jungle with the teleport scroll because he's so mobile. The map, he doesn't have a TP yet. Again, they're going to go back in the Roshan pick. They have about a couple seconds, but Juggernaut is already rotating in. He doesn't need to, simply because of the fact that there is a Wisp on the map. I'm just very confused.
Juggernaut, like, gave up farming bottom lane. Like,
that's a lot of farm being missed out on the bot lane right now.
Yeah, I mean, 500-600 gold is decent. Oh, Winter caught out with a silence. Great play coming out from Air there. He finds a pick off Sand King, immediate buyback. TA going to go in with a BKB, but Omni Slash is just tearing apart some of these MUFC heroes with Gyrocopter and TA. Brought down half HP, but that's not going to be enough to bring them off. They need to finish off TA. They do. Mofi, Lone Druid will be the next to take a fall if MUFC can find him. Iron Shell not going to find him. TP out, not in time. Hon Trash player now. has got himself, I believe, no, double kill actually to the Rubik. As MUFC win the fight around the Roshan pit, and does that win them Roshan itself?
It's a 3 for 2. You remember that Winter died immediately in the beginning. I'm not sure if he bought back. He did buy back, and that gave away his Blink Dagger goal too. That's a pretty big investment, but at the end of the day, they won the team fight handily.
Yeah.
And now going to get the Aegis, which they've been desperately fighting for a long time. No Mill Strike here, so it's taking them a while. In fact, Juggernaut can come in and cause some havoc, but he's not going to come in now. Speaking of Juggernaut, he's got himself 4,000 gold. How is Xiaochuji getting a ton of farm despite never actually farming?
He's got lots of kills. He's been in a lot of this action. He was actually going to maybe be brought down here, which is unfortunate. TA trap, phase boots. Oh, we get hit.
Tail range of the Burrow Strikes. He's going to get picked off. A ton of gold being taken up here. Wicked Streak.
Well, I'm curious what Juggernaut's going to get. I don't know if he wants to finish the match. I think Yasha on its own is a pretty strong item, but maybe now you go for the DPS. Maybe now you pick up a Battle Fury, or what do you think Juggernaut should be thinking of getting?
I think Manta's so nice for the Orchids.
Yeah.
If you run in, you get silenced, you don't drop your ultimate. I
Well,
might.
there's no Orchids on the MUFC side.
Oh, true. Sorry for a little bit self confusion.
Okay.
I'm not actually that.
BKB even?
I'm not actually that against Omni Slash being improved by Acceptor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the item overall, but it seems like he needs extra HP. Oh, looks like mid lane here. Vacuum to cancel TP. Burrow Strike. Ooh, he blinks back out, so no Mail Strike can follow through. I somewhat feel like Juggernaut's not tanky enough to play in the front row, and the fact that he's not playing the carry role, Mofi is really the carry, so it's okay for him to not really go for real carry items. I feel like Omni Slash being improved is not a bad idea.
Picked up a Talisman of Evasion, so
Butterfly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe Heaven's Halberd. You never know.
Heaven's Halberd, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
There's BKBs on both TA and Gyrocopter, but it's still okay. I think Butterfly, because it also improves your Omni Slash quite a lot. You get the extra hits in with the attack speed.
Yeah, that's fine. It's all good. But meanwhile, the bigger item pickup for me is that Rubik got himself a Blink. And I think Sand King's going to have himself a Blink right now as well. So certainly the initiation power of MUFC got a lot stronger. And you always have to be kind of afraid of MUFC playing this aggressive, or having the ability to play this aggressive, because they already is doing so with things like Surge, with things like running and Burrow Strike, Phase Speed on Templar Assassin. Now they could just find a random pickoff, and suddenly your team is not nearly as strong. Rising Star, their only strength is fighting as 5, and they're not really winning these 5v5 team fights.
Yeah, the other maybe potential strength is going to be the Wisp relocate if they can find someone who is isolated farming on the map. But MUFC have done a pretty good job at shutting down those options, and all Rising Stars just haven't been able to successfully find them. Yep. They've had a couple good relocates with the Wisp Jug, but last 10 minutes we just haven't seen all too much.
Yeah, but they've been relocating straight into the fights, or maybe, I guess another way that we're really forgetting about relocate is that it actually can be a kind of a team fight tool, because if you're carried down in a team fight, you could buy back, your Wisp relocates back in, and you're right back in the fight eventually. So it's something that maybe in the ultra late game could be a factor.
Yeah, it's a really cool little strategic spell. But MUFC still have Aegis, I believe. Yeah, they still have Aegis on the Gyrocopter, and that's only going to be for another 3-4 minutes. So maybe we see them looking to take some of these outer tier 2 towers, something which they haven't really been able to do just yet. I mean, I feel like MUFC have the much better team fight. You've got a Blink on Sand King, BKBs on your 2 carries, and Darkseer with a mech. I'm surprised MUFC aren't looking to force more team fights.
Do they think that they have the better late game here? Which,
I mean, I don't think you give a clear, I guess, a slight edge to MUFC late game. They've got solid carry in the Gyrocopter, as well as the better team fight supports, Darkseer and Sand King late game, compared to like a Shadow Demon and Wisp late game.
yeah, which is not really true supports. Andre's player is going to find himself with a big Ancient stack, so that's not bad. Yeah, I want to slightly lean towards them that they have a better late game. Xiaochuji, 9-2-1. It just doesn't feel like he's going to provide too much aside from Omni Slash.
Yeah.
I've been big on Xiaochuji simply because I saw him at 2K go 4 minutes in, and I just don't think that was the correct way that he spent it, but that's why I'm not too happy about how this game's going for Rising Stars.
I don't know. I think the build's still okay. I think going for something like a Midas would have been super greedy.
Yeah, he would have been like level 18 by now, though.
Yeah,
Because Omni Slash would have done more, to be honest.
yeah, I think the minus would have been good for the faster leveling. But
Yeah.
it would have meant you had to spend a lot more time farming and not helping out your team. Like you
Sure.
couldn't have gone for those early ganks up top where they killed Gyrocopter a few times. The boots of travel would have given him mana problems. If you get that with your first 2k gold, sure you have a 6-minute boots of travel, but then you have to keep on farming for your drums. So he went for the more cheaper, cost-effective item to go ganking with.
And it's not like it has been ineffective. He's 9-2-1. Like, he's actually
Oh yeah,
a big part of his team in terms of kill, in terms of aggression. He's sacrificing the farm, but at the same time, Mofi is really picking him as well. He's gonna have he's had armlet done. He's gonna get a basher on his bear as well. Traps being used up on top. This is what I wanted to see them do a little bit more. Split pushing, split farming all over the map. And there's a finished butterfly, so suddenly the damage output of that Juggernaut is gonna rise up the roof. I think butterfly is probably the second most cost-effective item to increase your Omnislash. I actually think Assault Curious is the biggest one because it has so many jumps and gives the minus armor gives you so much more damage output on your Omnislash.
Oh, okay. No, I did not realize that. Well, what about Acceptor? How does Acceptor compare?
I have not done the math with the Acceptor.
Okay, you get more slashes, so more slashes as well as some stats, but
yeah. It's just I never done the math because I never see it as a really carry item. So
yeah.
But maybe I have to go back to it. In any case, looks like we have a tier 2 push up coming up top. The Aegis is running out, I imagine, in about 30 seconds to a minute. So they should be able to bring down this tier 2 without too much of a fuss. Because team fight, again, not really where a Rising Star is strong at.
Well, Rising Stars, I mean, do they defend towers, I guess? They don't want a team fight, but they also don't want to let these towers just keep on taking a fall. No more Aegis on Trash play, and I think that means, hey, let's try and defend, let's try and fight.
Yeah, they just running out. FC's gonna get dusted right now. If he gets root or bash, in fact, Omnislash just going on the back line, doing a ton of work. One person instead. FC's gonna get surrounded. Nice wall vacuum, and now the fight going the other way, but they're not gonna get the kill. So maybe pushing without the Aegis. Look at Xiaotuji just walking right back in, just not having a care in the world because he has the overcharge damage block. FT's running back in. 2-man Burrow Strike Epicenter not being channeled just yet. Queen of Pain is just dead, and this guy is just slicing and dicing everybody apart. Xiaotuji comes back in. He sees CFG. He's surging back into this left side awkward angle. It's gonna TP out. What a play here from TFG. He is really
Shadow
too
Demon
fucking
dying
good.
to illusions. The Shadow Demon, micro the illusion. All the illusions just disappeared. Self-disruption saves his life, but man, Juggernaut is beefy. That tether, he got down really low. Like, he got down to half HP in like a second or so, and then instantly got like healed up. I think he got like tether mech.
Tether Urn, Tether Mech, self Tranquil Boots on the wrist. That's a ton of healing. Let's not forget about the Healing Ward. Let's not forget about the Magic Stick on the Juggernaut. And more importantly, 30% evasion, 35% evasion, and a ton of armor. He just ran in, like he ate Mail Strikes after Mail Strike. Xiaotuji says, I got all the heal. I got a fountain next to me. Because literally, that's exactly what happened. He literally had a fountain next to him. And now tier 2 is going to get destroyed mid. There is no epicenter. There's no wall. They could just go for the racks right now. I take back everything I doubted about Xiaotuji's build. It is so effective right now.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, are they actually going to look to go high ground here? I'd be shocked if they did. They're going to back off. Looks like they're pinging some. Well, there's one tier 2 tower left at top lane. They can easily backdoor this. It's got no HP. This is the last out of tier 2 tower remaining.
I'm actually surprised they didn't go mid because there's no ultimates up on MUFC.
Darkseid's Darkseid's just coming up now, sanking 15 seconds. So there was a very small window. I think the big issue is going to be MUFC. They've got buybacks from a couple of heroes, so fighting in your opponent's base when they have buybacks means even if you get a couple kills here and there, they buy back and they can just overwhelm you.
Well, what next for Xiaotuji? He's got nudged himself 2k gold. Is this where you complete your Manta?
I think at some point he wants to complete his Manta. I guess you're up against BKB here, so maybe you want to go for something to lock him down like a Basher. But I guess Lone Druid provides the lockdown. He's got all the movement speed to chase him anyway.
He really does, yeah. Or is this where you go deep and pick up a Death Zone and be like, all right, guys.
I think you just finish the Manta and then maybe look towards even the Assault Cuirass you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think Acceptor is still a good item here because it gives you HP, like the plus stats it gives. Because you look at his HP, he's got 1300 HP. There's not actually much magic burst damage on the MUFC side, which is what you need against a 1300 HP Juggernaut. They don't have that Lina. If you had a Lina, you're thinking fantastic, but
ooh, mid ultimate being drawn out here by Illusion Darkseer.
So I think going for an Accept is still good. Going for some lifesteal would be pretty good as well.
Yeah,
Get home with the Dominator.
He's definitely got a ton of options. It doesn't feel like, oh, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble now with the Wisp not being there. And look at how squishy he actually is.
This is where 1300 HP is.
Yes.
1300 HP.
I'm not sure whether Accepted will save him regardless, but hey.
No.
would've
Maybe
made it
BKB even.
Yeah, made it a little closer. Well, now they're going to take advantage of that kill and go into the Roshan pit, which Rosh is going to be spawning very soon. In fact, they're going to be looking for a little bit more kill. This bear running into actually Scout, but that bear in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, brought down. Still pinging Roach. Still hasn't respawned. I imagine Rising Stars know when this happens, but I think they're just happy to give it up because otherwise probably see that buyback from Juggernaut by now.
It depends on exactly when the Roach timer is. If it was like 10 or 15 seconds later, the Wisp could have gone back home and relocate them back in the fight. But it's just too late now. The damage output from TA just simply too much against this Roche. Speaking of TA, looks like he's going to go for MKB for that Juggernaut Butterfly, which is completely standard. There's already MKB finish on Gyrocopter, so Juggernaut needs to pick up another item to kind of stay on toe-to-toe with these enemy carries. That's kind of getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he needs something on top of this because that's something he can just continue to rely on. And it seems like it needs to be some survivability. Manta Style actually gives you some stats. Well, the Manta, being able to just pop the Manta, create some confusion. Some spells you can dodge as well does help. Wow, Spirit Bed dies again.
Yeah, Mofi can't give away these free bear kills. They could push tier 2.
They're going to go bottom.
Yeah.
Tier 2, maybe even look for a tier 3. They know there's no bear for a minute.
There's just no defense without that bear. Like, I'm so confused about Mofi.
There's a Queen of Pain AoE nukes, that's about it. Queen of Pain Sonic Wave on cooldown actually, but that will be up by the time they get to the Rexes. Yeah,
the true defense is having Xiaotuji to go in and spin and disrupt and do as much as possible. I say if you're Radiant, you just don't fight over this tower.
There's an Aegis too, so this is I think maybe even a Rax push attempt coming from MUFC.
Like, I understand losing that bear because you're farming on the bot lane, you TP out, your bear gets ganked. That's fine. But scouting that bear into a Roshan pit when you know they're doing Roshan for sure, and just losing a bear for free like that, that's not acceptable.
Yep. On Trash Play, just goes straight high ground, looks to do some chip damage on Flat Cannon on the support to the back, forces out a Glyph here, and still unable to defend. There is no Spirit Bear. Cooldown actually going to be used here. They want to call to bring down air, and they're going to do so. He's got no buyback.
Well, Omnisash going to fly through, and it's going to hit nothing but illusions, it feels like.
It does some damage to FC, but not killing him off means, well, he gets healed up, and MUFC go back to the high ground. And now without Omnisash, defending gets very difficult.
Healing Ward's going to get stolen here if that's what they really want. Relocate comes back in from Winter.
Healing Ward. Wow, that's a big steal actually.
That's a huge steal. I mean, what else?
Gyrocopter's got no HP. Sure, he's got Aegis, but if you can heal him up, it's even better. Don't waste the Aegis.
Yeah, he's. Where's the Healing Ward?
I think it died.
Okay. Not exactly the best protection of that Healing Ward. The bear's coming back, but that's the last one. If they get the spare kill right now, in fact, it's very smart to actually focus on it. Flat Cannon should be used on the Rax and onto the heroes. And this Rax is going to go down.
Cooldown's back up. I love the cooldown with like a 45-second cooldown.
Not having the bear for about 30 seconds really cost Rising Stars.
Well, also, having the Jug get picked off, giving MUFC the free Aegis, means MUFC just so confidently push the high ground.
Ooh, FC's going to get bashed up a little bit. No Entangle. The Surge is going to bring everybody back out. Trap should be used as well. No, Winter comes back in. Whack you into a call down. Holy crap, the damage is insane. Wisp is dead. Mofi's very low. FC's focusing on Queen of Pain. Juggernaut. No, it's a Rubik Juggernaut spin. Looks like there's a buyback here coming up from Juggernaut. And that's the last hurrah coming out from Rising Star. They look so good early on, but suddenly a mistake and it is all she wrote, it feels like. Juggernaut is going to at least get a kill on the Aegis. But it just doesn't matter.
I agree. I don't think it's going to matter at this point. Jug did buy back, which is okay if they can hold this, but already they've lost Raxes and Rising Stars on the back foot now. This is going to take something miraculous to turn this around. Yeah,
they're going to get a kill. Ooh, nice defensive disruption. Blinks back out as well. That's going to allow DD to actually just go down. That's yet another free kill. The go chart is suddenly just going wonky. I'm a little bit lost for words as we see Juggernaut die. If you pop up the go chart, you know on the bottom it sees like the amount of kills that a team has.
Wow.
There has not been a single death for the last, I want to say, 8-10 minutes. Close to it, and
about 6. I'd say about 7 minutes.
Okay, and the score just stretch apart so much.
And all those kills towers, which MUFC have just picked up in the last 10 minutes, is all at once.
Multiple buybacks being used. And suddenly it's going to be like a 10k goal lead, 2 Roxas going down. And I think it's about time for Rising Star to tap out.
Yeah, it looks like MUFC are going to be our third place champions here in the AMD Premier League. Rising Stars down 2 sets of Raxes and still have not found an answer to what is a pretty scary Gyrocopter, a pretty scary Templar Assassin, just a really strong team fight with the Sand King Darkseer combo.
This just shows you that right after winning a team fight up the top lane, they're forcing away multiple TPs. Juggernaut was absolutely huge. You make a key mistake against a team that knows how to take advantage of it, you lose the game.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened.
And it goes back to what you were saying. Like Juggernaut isn't really a true carry. He was a ganker. He started off like 9-1. Now he's 10-5. He's just not been able to do anything the last 10 minutes or so. No kills really picked up for Rising Stars in the last 7 to 10 minutes. And Juggernaut, he doesn't even have any assists on top. It's not like he's been getting assists. They're just not getting kills at all, Rising Stars. And that's with a Wisp lineup.
Well, I mean, the item progression here for Dire is just insane. There's a crit on FC already. Looks like Daedalus is going to be finished very soon. BKB, Butterfly, crits, MKB. No crits. On Hontrash player. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of action on Winter. They're going to force a fight right here. Let's see if they can win that fight. Really don't think so. Man, Hontrash player with a flat cannon. In fact, while Chao Chuchi is doing a man fight, somebody killed that healing ward. Finally, Link says like, oh yeah, there's a healing ward here. Let me just pick that one off.
The 2 supports get completely obliterated. They actually both survived Shadow Demon and Wisp, but they got caught in a cooldown while in Ghost Scepter form, took some bonus damage, and the 2 carries were the ones who died. Juggernaut, Queen of Pain dead. MUFC go high ground. They're going to bring down the tier 3 tower, and like you say, this is going to be the GG call coming out any minute now.
Yeah. Blink initiation against XT. XT's going to get Maelstrom 1 hit.
Wow.
Down.
Yeah. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. It's going to be the third Rax. No GG being called out by Rising Star.
Good fight to the end, especially game 3.
All right,
Practicing for that TI3 East qualifiers. They're not going to be giving up in those games.
Yeah.
But Rising Stars, they get defeated here. They do put up a pretty good showing though. They actually beat Orange in the quarterfinals of this tournament. Lost in the semi-finals to Tongfu, and then here they are, 2-1 defeat to MUFC. So really solid performance all around from Rising Stars, but MUFC just a bit more seasoned overall as a team.
I feel that Rising Star is actually a very good team. It won't surprise me if they go deep into the Eastern qualifier, maybe even cause them some upset against like Vichy Gaming or LGD China. This game just maybe show a little bit of experience, maybe playing a couple of mistakes. Game 1, like that game from that Anti-Mage, just shows you that if you give them a slight lead, they know how to win the game. This one, maybe not so much. So, you know, hard to call them for playing badly here. And Rising Star is going to take the 4th place, MUFC 3rd place. They're going to be winning themselves $500 for the AMD Premier League. Do we have the grand final coming up?
I believe so. I believe that's coming up next.
All right, that's going to be featuring Zenith versus Tongfu, and that's going to be a best of 5. So grab your popcorns, grab whatever else that you need, because there's going to be some really, really good top Asian Dotas featuring TI3 invites. We'll be back momentarily, and I hope you guys don't go anywhere, guys.